Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about Stefan Bradl's comments after his 2-day test in Jerez prior to the shakedown test kicking off in Malaysia next Sunday. Now, when asked about the test, Stefan Bradl said, "We did 100 laps, but it's not relevant because we were not really fast. This was because the tyres didn't work well in these weather conditions. Here was colder on the 2 days than in Phillip Island last October, when it's really cold there. In addition, Phillip Island, you had more tyre compounds to use. Today, I got the same tyre compounds that we used in the Grand Prix, but in May, it was 30 or 35 degrees here. The test was very borderline because of the weather. Everything went well, but the conditions were not good, especially on Thursday as the wind was blowing. It was also partly cloudy and the Michelin tyre compounds just did not ideally work in this weather. That was very, very difficult." Then when asked about the bike, he said, "You won't see from the outside that the motorcycle has been turned completely upside down. It is really not possible in such a short time scale. But we have to be realistic and make sure that we don't get even more lost. We are trying to solve one problem after another to get everything under control and make the package a bit more powerful. Not just in one area, but we need to bring all the pieces together everywhere. More power is always the goal, but I don't think the power has become less. But in these temperatures with a maximum of 12 degrees, the air is very oxygen rich. In Sepang, it will look very different at 35 degrees and high humidity because the heat will be a completely different story." Just on parts where they've tested, he just said, "We have now placed all the test parts on the table for Malaysia. We have pre-shortened them, but all the new parts have been confirmed and again will be clarified in Malaysia." He also spoke about the crash that he had in the test. He said, "We made attempts to get started, but it was so cold in the morning, we thought we would just use the time for launch attempts. I drove slow laps because the outside temperature was only 9 degrees and the tyres had cooled down completely. I only got around slightly before this left-hand bend and clumsily the bike had already slipped away from me. Nothing happened to me, but it was still annoying. Nothing from the bike was broken or damaged. We will complete the next test phase in Sepang next week." But I do think it's very interesting on what he said. I think it's a little bit weird that they knew the temperature here was going to be a little bit cold, and they did, in my view, waste 2 days testing that they didn't need to do. I have noticed a little bit of a new aero bit on the bottom of the downward scoop. You'll see it. It's like there's more inlets in it compared to what was there on Mears. Now we're just a week away from the shakedown test starting. I must say I am pretty excited about getting going and seeing what's going to happen. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What do you think about Bradl's comments? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.